Hello, beautiful people. It's Liza's Love Tarot. This is an all signs reading for the week, the first week of November. I'm gonna pull a card every day of the week, so to speak, and we're gonna see how this week is going for all the signs. I'm gonna jump into an energy reading because I was meditating on this before. If you can tell, my thoughts are still with the meditation a bit. And it's that this week is very interesting, but I guess what I really want to highlight is we're headed towards a breakthrough point, especially at the end of this week. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's not going to be what you expect. And don't take that as a bad thing. That's a good thing. If you don't know if you have no expectations, that's where manifestation happens. So whatever you're expecting to happen, let it go. Let it go. If you really want that thing to come into your life, to come into fruition, please let it go. Go focus on something else. And by that, we have the Knight of Swords. So I'm just going to jump right into it a little bit and give you a bit of manifestation advice. But we have the Knight of Swords, and this is what I mean by that breakthrough energy. By the end of the week, it's like souls are being untethered, being allowed the freedom to run into this reality from 5D into 3D and actually make things happen. Now you can imagine that means something different for every single person that there is. For some people, they want to manifest something for themselves that is in great contradiction to what someone else wants to manifest for themselves. You know, like if you're in a relationship and you want to keep going in the relationship and the other person wants out. So how is that going to, what is that going to look like? For a lot of people, it's going to look like disappointment, because if you're holding on to something, you're not allowing the energy to flow and to move. And this energy really wants to move. If you have this intention to love, right? And you kind of allow this Knight of Swords to run with your intent to love, then he's running into the future, but he doesn't have you tethered to him. So he can move quickly, he can move decisively, and he can move with reason. Okay, as soon as you start holding on to it and attaching your emotions to it day in and day out, just ruminating over it, thinking on it, now he's bogged down by emotion. And look, this Knight of Swords, he's leaving the 3D world and going into, or he's leaving the 5D world and going into 3D, okay? And also, inverse of that, he's leaving the 3D world and going into 5D, the unknown, into the darkness, okay? And when he's in that darkness, that's where, like, the reason why I say it's both 3D and 5D is, think of it this way. When a soul is born into earth, whether that soul be a thought form, be a manifestation of you, whatever have you, just like people can give birth to live beings, you give birth to ideas, you give birth to realities, okay? And so in that birth, just like when you came into this world, there is a forgetting, a non-remembering. You're going into a darkness, okay? And so it's the same thing. This dark space exists between worlds. So it doesn't matter which way you're going. You're always going into the dark space when you're manifesting something, or when you're trying to bring something into a reality, or when you let go of something and allow it to run into multiple realities to then pull you into those, okay? So the soul right now is really on that journey, and that's what's really interesting and beautiful. Let's see what's fueling this, and it's the Knight of Pentacles. Look at these knights, they're at work. This is reason and practicality. This is pulling something into your practical universe. What's behind this? The Queen of Swords. Wow. Wow, that's intuition and reason. What did I just say? What did I just say? Allow it to run on its own. Use that intuition. This space is nothing but based on intuition. If you try to attach things, like here, the Knight of Pentacles, he's definitely practical, which means that he does ground things into reality. These two together, untethered by your expectations, which are not a practical thing. No matter how practical you think your expectations are, they're not practical because they're not in reality yet. So it is impractical. He's a very practical person. This is a very impractical person, okay? The way that they work in tandem is when you leave emotion at the door. You use reason and intuition instead. Intuition are your feelings that come from soul, that are cleared. They're not attached to any old memories, nostalgia. They don't control you, so to speak. This is a queen who's not controlled by her emotions. She's informed by them. Ooh, let me say that one again. This queen is not controlled by her emotions. She's informed by them. And that's how you bring something into physicality. And let's see, does it get there? Three of Pentacles? It does. This is simply a celebration, but of the pentacle variety. This is, yay team, look at this, we got something done. Three of Cups is, yay team, we want to get something done, right? Or maybe we did and we're just living off the vibes of it, right? But Three of Cups is vibes. Three of Pentacles is vibes plus, plus I want to say proof, right? Vibes plus proof. They're friends, they've got each other back. What's the proof of that? Boom. I'm going to peek at what's behind this. Woo, the Devil card. I knew it. And that's because of this. It happens, but if you go into it waiting for proof, it's going to get stolen from you. What's behind the Devil? Yep. See, look, what's between proof and Devil? Fulfillment. Or what's between proof and fulfillment? The Devil. Ooh, but look how he fell out. He said, no, we ain't doing that. We going straight to here. Look at that. Wasn't that beautiful? Okay, I'm going to stop surfing through the bottom, and we're going to go ahead and look at what's going on this week and kind of figure out what this vibe is, because it's clearly a lot about manifestation. Okay, this whole week, honestly, it's ripe for manifestation. And so let's look and see what we can expect. I'm not going to pull a card for each month. I don't really think that I want to do that. What I'm going to do instead is pull the energy of the week. I feel like, and I said pull a card for each month. Ooh, that was some interesting wording. But I feel like if we pull the energy of the week, we're going to get a much clearer picture than if I were to break it down in those smaller pieces, because the week is already a short period of time. So let's go ahead and look at it like this. I just talked about manifesting, and we have the Wheel of Fortune right off the bat. This is the energy of the week in total, okay? This is the energy of whatever you're pulling towards you. And either you are pulling lessons or you are pulling wisdom. Wisdom you can integrate into your reality and use it as a jump off point into a new reality, so to speak, okay? And people talk about realities all the time. Let's break this down, guys. Look, you can watch whatever you want on TV. You can listen to TikTok, all that kind of stuff. And when people talk about realities, they make it sound so woo-woo and like aliens and all this kind of stuff. And yes, everything is true and none of it is true, okay? Think of all that shit as interdimensional television if you watch Rick and Morty, okay? You turn on the TV, you turn on TikTok, you're literally getting a peep into someone else's reality, okay? But that person lives on the same physical plane as you. I don't know if anyone's ever seen Valerian, but it's a very great representation. Terrible movie, as far as, like, story goes. But great when it comes to visuals and like expanding your mind visually of what it's like to exist on a plane where multiple planes are stacked on top of that, okay? There are these people and they walk out into the desert, but they have to put on these goggles. And as soon as they put on the goggles, there's a whole new world that they're interacting in. And then they even, based on the goggles they have and who they are, like what their DNA coding is and all that kind of stuff, they have some ability to walk down certain pathways and not some others. So some people can go to certain alleys, into certain rooms, and some humans just can't at all, okay? So think of that. There's a reality. You're walking around in a sand desert, and so are millions of other people. Just nothing but a desert. And you guys all have goggles on, okay? Not all of you are seeing the same thing. Hell, not even all of us are in the same place, right? So with that in mind, if you were to open up your phone and someone is showing you what's going on in their dimensional reality somewhere else, and you know that you exist in a dimensional reality, in other words, a reality that gives meaning to the things around you, right? Lessons that you learn, people around you who are propagating certain energies around you, right? If you're tuned into someone else and they sound like they're batshit crazy, then just let it go. Don't think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another reality. It doesn't mean that it's your reality. But if you get hooked in on it, just like, if you're on TikTok or whatever, and you start liking shit that scares the fuck out of you, of course, more shit that scares the fuck out of you is going to come towards you because you're fixated on that energy. So naturally, you are going to be dissipating towards it. Your whole body, your energy, it's pulling you two together. So that's why you focus on the things that feel good to you. Everybody will say, no, you're supposed to suffer and sacrifice to make your life better. Okay, that's a slave mentality. That's not a life of privilege and wealth mentality. And by privilege, I hate that word, actually. So we're not going to use it. But it's not a mentality of wealth. Wealth doesn't say I suffer. It says I do because I love, okay? And don't confuse that with rich people or money or elite and all those other fucking words that mean people who exploit and benefit off of others. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about when you have a wealth of abundance. You live the life in which you wanted and have always been manifesting for yourself. I'm talking about a child born into a world where they have loving parents who accept them for who they are, establish boundaries, help them learn and establish boundaries about this crazy fucking multiverse that they live in, right? And then that child goes and walks throughout the multiverse. Is that child going to be better equipped than the one who is, I don't know, like beaten and taught like not to trust anything, let alone themselves? Like one of them is going to thrive and the other one is going to work really hard to get half as much, okay? So that's what I'm saying when I say wealth, okay? Spiritual wealth, wealth of well-being, wealth, mental wealth, heart wealth, emotional wealth. All of those types of things have to come before the pentacle wealth, okay? So with the energy of all of this is the Wheel of Fortune. It's harmony this week. And it makes a lot of sense because by the end of this week on Saturday, I kid you not, mark down on your calendar, something is going to be unleashed. Something, whether it's in you or your person, in the environments around you, that is what the energy is ripe for. Ooh, my throat. Energy said, oh, I got to get it out. Had to get some water. But the energy is ripe for that. Okay, it's I don't even know how to explain that. I would like, if you can feel it and you are aware, then you know what I'm talking about. You've been feeling this. If you're not, you're either gonna have to take my word for it or I don't know. You're here, so why not? Just play a game with me, right? But the energy is ripe for something being unleashed. It's trying to harmonize the universe. Between the first is the universe playing, let's say, string theory. We're living in a field of sound, okay? Everything is vibrating, and if you put those vibrations along a string, then you're going to start getting sound, okay? Just go with me. That's probably not the best scientific explanation, but if you want a science explanation, then you're going to have to follow a string theorist and talk to them about it. But just to kind of get my point across, we're going to metaphor it. So if the universe is a symphony, right? If you're sitting in a room, can you hear anything right now besides my voice? Do you hear music? Because I bet you if you turned on a radio, you would be able to, right? But the radio is a receiver. So are you. You're a receiver. The question is, do you know what you're receiving? Do you know what frequencies you are receiving? It's time that people come awake to that sort of thing. I am a receiver. So let me reverse engineer this shit and figure out what the fuck kind of frequencies are coming in. You know, we all don't want to believe it. We just want to be everything's a coincidence. Okay, bitch, fine. Everything's a fucking coincidence. Your life is, I don't know, a box of chocolates. Go have fun. Live in that kind of world if that's what you want. But if you're serious about life and you're serious about, I should say this. If you realize that your life is important, but it's not that fucking serious, then you're in the right place with me, because that's kind of how it goes. There are some things that are serious and there are some things that are just important, but not serious at all. Right. And when you live your life like that, things are important, right? People are important, situations are important, but fuck, it's not that serious. Did somebody die? That's kind of serious, right? But other than that, I can't go to the concert that I really wanted to go to because I don't have enough money. It's not that fucking serious. It sucks for fucking sure, but it's not that fucking serious in the grand scheme of things. You might have gone and it sucked. You might have gone and it was great. You might go 3 months from now. Is it still serious? You get what I'm saying? When you're in that, the energy of that, where you realize it's not that serious, then you let go of expectation. You let go of the need for things to be fulfilled. And when you do that, you're in the mindset that the universe is in, okay? Because now, instead of wanting certain frequencies to hit you and being upset because they're not, because you don't even know what that shit looks like. Maybe some of you didn't even know that this shit existed until you just heard me say it, and you still think that I might be full of fucking shit. By all means, I'm not here to convince you. I don't need to convince you. I'm living my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to convince you how to live yours, right? So for some of you, you're very aware of this. The majority of you are this is not new to you, what I'm saying, right? But for a small smidgen of you, you're like, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? I'm intrigued. I don't know what she's talking about, but I'm intrigued. The thing is when you live your life in that space of non-expectation, that's where magic happens, because now you are a receiver. And you're not judging what's coming through, which means those energies really want to come through. The sound of it is more resounding than it was before. When you're so focused on, I got to get to this one station, right? Let me use this analogy. You're listening to the radio, for those of you who like still do that. But you're listening to the radio and you're driving, right? Like across country. Now, for anybody who's ever had to do that and who's ever turned on the fucking radio station in their lives, you'll know that the radio stations are different depending on what cities you're in. So as you're driving across country, you don't know which channel to tune into to get the type of music that you like. You just kind of have to, fuck around a little bit, right? You kind of just have to turn things and see what happens. But if you keep expecting the same station, the same DJ, you're going to be pretty fucking disappointed when you started out in LA and you're in New York and everything is fucking different. You're going to be annoyed. And from that trip from LA to New York, you're going to have missed out on everything that was there in between, everything there that had a message for you, every song that might have been new, that might have inspired you. You missed out on the entire journey, so to speak. So by the time you get to fucking New York, you're pissed. You're pissy because, the journey was shitty. I even have my favorite DJ, my 6 o'clock coffee DJ that plays all the songs that I like, and I really like their little show and blah blah. No, you're thinking about all that instead of actually enjoying yourself in a whole new energetically different space. You're not learning lessons. You're not harmonizing with the spaces around you. So I just want you to think about that. You're a radio receiver, which means that whatever you consume is coming to you for a reason. And it's either there to waken you up to what your fears are or to expand you beyond them. Okay? Just look at life like that. You don't even have to, that's the secret of life. There's no reason to be scared. Either something is trying to wake you up to your fears so that you can confront them, or something is trying to expand you beyond them. And that's essentially the same damn thing, right? One of them is just super negative and the other one might be a positive experience. But just because it's a negative experience doesn't mean it's a bad one, especially if it's happening and you can't stop it, like you're not in control of it. Then just see what you can take from it, okay? This is you're picking up something on a receiver moment. Learn through the journey, because that lesson guaranteed is going to take you somewhere, and you're going to be a different person by the time you reach New York. The worst thing you could ever do in life is start out in one location like LA, and then by the time you get to New York, be the same fucking person. Because it's like, did the journey not shift your consciousness or your mindset at all? Why are you acting like an LA person in New York? That's not to say you're supposed to act like a New Yorker. No, it's just you're in a different place. You are always supposed to be you. You are not an LA person. That is just how you behave because you are in harmony with those energies. When you get to New York, you need to be in harmony with those energies. Like, for instance, I'm a city person, but I also live, out in cities that are smaller. Okay. I've traveled. I'll just put it that way. So when I, it's funny because when I use New York all the time, when I went to New York, I was there with my husband, my sister-in-law, my kids or whatever, right? And they've never seen me as a city person. But when I get there, I think a lot of what they knew about me was starting to click into place. The fact that I'm very spontaneous, the fact that I walk with purpose, the fact that I'm short with people, the fact that I can just jump into conversation with people and vibe and energy really fast, because it's about connection. You have to embody the attitude of the space that you're in so that you can be in harmony with it, so that the people who need to come in to give you whatever they have to give you do that. Okay, the ability to communicate with people and see the difference between a scam and maybe, for instance, it is better to be scammed on a small level than a big level, right? It's better to let someone talk you up for 2 seconds and then offer to take back your cart that you put a quarter in for than to have your car broken in, right? You have to be generous to the energies that are looking to take things from you, just like you're generous to the ones that have things to give, okay? Because they're also giving you a lesson, right? So for instance, I listened to this lady talk about timeshare, whatever. And she's like, oh, like $20 and you could, it wasn't like $20 or something, but she was like, oh, I'll write you down. You go to a place, I think it was like 10 or $15 or some shit like that. And, they like tour you around a thing. Like, they always do that at the fucking hotels. Like, I grew up in Florida. We live in the timeshare place. Like, I know what this is. But I also know the general rule of the universe. If I learn a lesson when it's not so big, it's a lot better, because then that means I'm not going to have to learn this lesson again in more obvious ways. And the way you do this is you don't alert necessarily the person that you think you're scamming. You just entertain them for a little bit. And if it's not that big of a deal, give them the fucking $15. That lady was working hard. She needed money. Whatever. What am I here? To judge her because timeshare is a scam? She's a person trying to make a living. Okay, so I talked to her for 15 minutes. I like her energy. I like her voice. I'm paying her the money for being around her for that little bit of time, because she gave me a little piece of New York. She was a native, right? And so she gave me a little bit of her energy as a native New Yorker, and I paid for that. That was the wisdom I learned. It's not that I got scammed giving this lady, like, I think it was like $20 or something like that. Like, because I wasn't going to go to the thing. And, like, if you don't go, like, I guess, like, it charges you, like, $20 or something. I can't even remember the whole fucking thing. But I was just like, here, lady, like, here's the thing. Because I'm in fucking New York. Do you know how many other fucking ways I could get fucked up the ass there? A ton. So I'd rather have this moment, get a little bit of her energy, and also that energy resonance comes with a bit of New Yorker deceit, so I can sniff it out anywhere now. Do you see what I'm getting at? Now, I'm not suggesting people go out and get fucked up and like talked in and like, get thrown across the rails or dragged across the rails, right? Like, don't go out looking for people to scam you. That's crazy. Don't, like, but it's that energy. It's recognizing in those moments what it is and how you're interacting with it. Now, that's some high level shit. Again, don't go to fucking New York City looking to get scammed. I swear to God, if anybody tries to contact me and they're like, you said this and it was a bad idea, I'm going to punch you in the face myself, okay? So, don't do that. But my point is that the universe is like, there's a journey. And there's so many lessons to learn. And if you let go of who you think you are and stay open to resonances and stay open to things, you're going to find out and you're going to learn a whole new slew and set of skills, okay? And this week is literally about this. There's a harmony coming through. Something is going to be unleashed. Let's see what the energy surrounding. We've got one card on the table. Can you see what I mean? We're 22 minutes into this reading. One card on the table. And already I've told you so much. That's the kind of energy this week, and you'd be remiss to miss out on it, because it's the kind that will jump pad you into another reality. Honestly, sucks for the people who aren't listening to this, sucks for the people who just aren't aware and want to be. They'll get here when they need to get here, and obviously energy moves. People are in different timelines at different places. This energy will be around a lot longer than just this 1 week. Hell, it started earlier than this 1 week. So it's not to say that if you miss it, you miss the boat, but it's potent right now. I would much rather have it now and jump right at the good moment than have to jump in the aftermath. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You get farther when you do it at the moment that it's asking you to. So with that being said, this is going to be the energy surrounding, like, whatever connections you're going to be making this week, okay? 9 of Pentacles. Now, isn't that fucking snazzy? That's snazzy. Okay, so the energy surrounding your connection points is, y'all, it feels good. It feels solid, okay? If you've been waiting for something solid to come in, here's the time. Here's the time that you're probably, like, whatever is getting unleashed, it's coming in, and it's coming in solid. There's nothing else I can say to that. It's coming in solid. Here's, like, the energy. Whoa, I did 2 cards. I guess we're just going to have to do. Yes, we are, because they came out both like this. So, this is the original top card, and this is the energy, I want to say, like, in the soul. Like, in your soul specifically, and the soul, like, what your soul's going to be going through this week, okay? Now, all of the souls, think about it this way. If all of the souls are like fish in the sea, okay? We're the fish. We live in a water bowl. It's just, we call it air, right? But it's, air is still water. It's just in a gaseous state. So the soul is that gaseous state, that air, that water, all of that. It's constantly in it, right? Like the fish are in the ocean. A fish can't escape the ocean. No matter how far it swims, no matter where it goes, it's in the ocean. That's kind of like how you are and how your soul is in existence, okay? And it's coming in contact all the time with other people's souls, energy, frequencies, celestial beings, entities, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's coming in contact with everything. And this is the energy in that soul. So when I say your soul, it's kind of like all of our souls, because, you know, we're all connected this way. It's interconnected links, but also there are boundaries around it, just not as solid as you would think. So with that being said, the energy of the soul is the Ten of Wands, but it came out with 2 cards, y'all. And it said King of Swords. It means that we're coming to an end where we're feeling overwhelmed, where we're feeling like we just can't juggle it all. Your soul is finally coming to a place where it's making a decision. There's a massive decision coming, and it's coming, and it's resounding. Okay, this Mars and Gemini energy that's in retrograde right now, it's a resounding kind of like final decision, not fucking playing around. Okay, so let's go ahead and look and see what is hidden. We're going to clarify some of these if I have time, but we've got the Nine of Cups fulfillment. This is what you can't see. If you're coming to a place where you feel like you have to make a decision about something, now let's frame this a bit. Let's frame it romantic. Romance is my favorite topic. It's so easy because it hits all the notes of everything in life. If you want to know what's going on with you financially, look at your romantic life. That'll tell you everything you need to know, because it all comes from the same energy. Wealth comes from Venus, and she loves romance. So here we go. So what's hidden is this self-fulfillment, what you can't see. That doesn't mean it's hidden from you, as in you can't access it. It just means it's unseen to you, okay? Whatever this harmony is bringing. These 2 cards are read together. So harmony is coming in, and it's going to bring you this kind of like raw, emotional self-fulfillment where no one can take this away from you. Whatever lesson you were learning this week, whatever lesson is getting wrapped up, whatever is unleashed from the lessons you have learned, pick which track you're on, right? There's multiple tracks and multiple ways how this goes. Whichever one, pick one. But that lesson is going to come through like ultimate fulfillment. No one can take it away from you. No one can take this wisdom away from you once you have it. There's no need to think that, I'm going to go back. Like let's say twin flame journey, right? Easily I can read this as the universe is writing itself, your significant other, a partner, they're coming into a place where they're getting their shit together. Like literally in the physical reality, they are reaping what they sowed. And if this person was on a great track, they're really learning their lessons, they're coming in to hold themselves accountable, okay? That's what this energy is. They're nervous about it, but they're coming in to hold themselves accountable. And what's hidden is the amount of fulfillment you're going to get from this. The fact that, and the amount of fulfillment that they may get from this, okay? Now, on the flip side, inversion for our shadow friends, our little demon masculines, the ones who just don't want to get their shit together. They'd rather stay at the fucking Demon Tower Club and learn through their vices, right? Until the club burns down. Now, it could be that harmony is coming in. They're reaping what they sow in mass proportion. These people could be going through massive fucking horror movies at this moment. Like Name a Nightmare. And if they were fucking around with it, they're about to fucking find out. And the universe, they're nervous. They're fucked up. They don't want this shit. They want it to come to an end. And the universe said, it's coming to an end, all right. It's coming to an end, all right. And you get fulfillment out of this. Not fulfillment in seeing them fall the fuck apart. No, you get what you were owed. So if this person took your self-esteem, here comes back. Not because you saw what went down with them. No, but because you learned the lessons from whatever went down with them. So of course your self-esteem comes back. It never has anything to do with the other person, okay? It always has something to do with you. And the sooner everybody realizes that, the easier life gets. So let's see the general outcome. Potential outcome, general outcome is new opportunities. And this is read directly with the Nine of Pentacles. So you can see how this is literally the fruits of your labor coming in. Something is definitely getting unleashed. Let's see what that's at the bottom of the deck. The King of Wands. Wow, confidence, huh? Let me get a drink. Now, this guy is up in the clouds. So this kind of level of confidence doesn't necessarily, you know, it's not like he's the fucking emperor. This level of confidence is definitely something about yourself, something that you have in the self. It's not, it's not like, okay, if I read the underlying energy with what's hidden, right? Self-fulfillment, this here. These two are not exactly the same. Like, this can lead to this. I don't know why I'm having such a like I'm not impressed by this King of Wands, this underlying energy. And I feel like, oh, well here, it's being fueled by the Two of Pentacles, okay? And so I feel like somebody's juggling something and they're trying really hard to balance out their emotions, their feminine energy. And they're coming in as if they've got it all figured out. And it's like, but you're barely doing it. Like, you're at the beginning stages, okay? This is not like look at this. Look at this. She's not pointing well. Like this, what kind of pose is this on the foot? That's not a point, you know? I mean, I mean, I'm not dogging it because it is a, you know, that is a ballerina like move or whatever, but she's not the bitch that's wearing the point shoes. Okay? That's a high level ballerina. This is a beginner. She's not a prima donna. She's a beginner. She's not opening any shows. She's learning how to be a part of the show. But I feel like this person, you know, they have a lot of confidence about it, and there's nothing wrong with that specifically. It's just, you know, it's just, do you really know who you are and what your place is? Because this energy can sometimes help make us forget what our place is. And I don't mean like, get in your place. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what role are you playing right now? Because if you're playing the role of leader and then you fuck around and you start following people, you're not a very good leader, are you? And if you're supposed to be following, you know, the elected leader of your particular group or project, right? Like, they lead the project, but you're going around bossing everyone and telling them what to do. All you're doing is confusing everybody because you're probably giving different messaging and you're undermining the whole process of who elected the leader to begin with. You get what I'm saying? That this kind of energy brings that here. So this could literally mean that your person is acting from this place of you know, like, you know, I have some sense of divineness to me, you know, like, I tapped into my divine feminine energy. I don't know why I'm doing that like I'm some man. But, you know, I tapped into my divine feminine energy. I know what makes a feminine woman. And it's like, bitch, you've been at this for 2 days. Sit the fuck down. But, you know, because of that, the universe is about to harmonize all of this out and be like, okay, so show me what you got. show me what's truly here. But let's clarify really quick, because I just want to know, like, what that particular energy is giving us. And, whoo! Okay. Y'all saw how these cards flew out, right? I'm going to take these two as underlying energy because I said I you know, my mind was on this and the universe is like, well, I'll show you what they got. They got the King of Cups. Okay. And they got the High Priestess. Okay. But there's also the Four Cups here. So it makes me wonder if this energy is coming out as like Two of Pentacles is feeling this King of Wands, this, you know, I've got it all, I've got it together. Like, it's ego-based, right? And it's ego-based based off of someone figuring out how to balance two things once in their life. Meanwhile, you've gone around balancing, you're balancing like 9 things, right? Like we got 9s here twice. You're balancing that, plus you're about to get another one, right? You're about to get 10. That's a lot. And I feel like this person, that, you know, their intuition, their soul, right? The High Priestess is the soul, but she's the intuition that goes from soul to how you feel. And then how you feel gets, you know, discussed with what you think. Okay, so let me back it up a second. First, your soul has a want, a need, a desire, okay? And it's all based off of your goals. So you set the goal to write a book. Your soul is going to go, okay. Let's get a laptop. Well, she doesn't have a laptop to write right now, but we're in this, like, store. We're at the mall, and we're passing by the Apple store. Ooh, she's intrigued. She wants to go look. Let's send her, like, the feelings of curiosity to go look in the Apple store, okay? But then your thought goes, I don't have enough money. Or your feelings, your feelings are like, oh, the Apple Store, it's so expensive. And then you start feeling dread because, you don't have money. And so you don't go in there. Meanwhile, maybe they had one like on fucking sale, or you would have won a raffle and you would have gotten it because your soul's like, oh, let's get her this free laptop so she can start writing. Okay? It's a basic ass like example, but you get the point. This energy here could be blocking this because look at this Four of Cups. This Four of Cups says, you know what? I don't care. I don't care, universe. I don't want these feelings. It's the sense of I don't feel good. I don't feel like it. I just don't feel. And it's blocking intuition and the King of Cups, the ability. So I don't know. Let's look into let's go ahead and put that down there. But let's look into okay. See, with the Wheel of Fortune, harmony is being balanced out. Somebody was going around for an awfully long time, just pouring all their hopes, dreams, and wishes into a fucking void. And that's not it anymore. If this is you, then you already know what to do. Harmonize, let that shit go. Start learning your lessons. But I have a massive feeling that this is the other person, okay? So this is clearly our shadow masculine. Now like everybody has a masculine energy, so apply it to yourself where necessary, but to the level of degree that is necessary. I will explain what that means in a little bit. But this is the shadow masculine, just totally not into feelings, not into just constantly in a very nostalgic mood where it didn't work out, so nothing's ever gonna work out. And then the energy surrounding kind of the connections coming in, the Queen of Swords over the Nine of Pentacles. See, I knew it. This is the shadow masculine. Whatever they did, there's a lot of fucking judgment coming in about it. A lot. Look at the Queen of the King, a stare off right here. This is the soul looking at them like, are you serious? You fumbled that fucking ball? We had a lesson. We had the ability here, and they fumbled it. So if you are leaving a connection, take that as it will. We've got the Knight of Cups on top of this, the soul. See, the soul wanted to come in with love. With whatever this was, the soul really wanted to come in with love. And that's what was fueling their intuition here. The reason is love. But as we know back here, it was blocked. This person was blocking it. And it's because, it's because they're scared. Look, the Sun and the Nine of Cups. They were terrified about how happy this was going to make them. That happens all the time. People get so scared by their own happiness because once you're happy, then you're afraid to lose it. That's how that works. Of course, everybody wants to be happy. Nobody wants to lose happiness. And that's what keeps people from being happy. Because eventually, the wheel always turns. You will lose it. You know how I said, like, you could have been happy in LA, but you're going to lose LA happiness as you get to New York. And it'll turn to New York happiness. And then you'll lose that on your trip back. And you'll go into LA. You'll no longer be New York happy. You'll be LA happy. Like, you're going to lose those things. But you can imagine not wanting to experience something because you're afraid that you're going to lose it. We do it all the time as people. And this person was doing it massively. And that's what their soul really wanted, was to come in and offer love, but they weren't. And let's see why. What was hidden? The Empress. Yeah, they're terrified. Because what's hidden is how they truly feel about you. The fact, no, I should put it this way. What's hidden is that they think this of you. This is how they feel about you, I should say, okay? They feel like you give them all of the confidence in the world. They feel like when they're with you, not like you are the world. They feel the world. They feel the beat of the world when they're with you. They feel like so in line with themselves, finally in the flow of their own dance. But they hide that from themselves, mainly because they don't want to come in, they were fucking around and they found out. I mean, like, to get to here, you can't be pouring your cups into a fucking void. How are you going to get to Nine of Cups? You're not. You get what I mean? And then if you're just ignoring the new ones coming in, like, look at this. Oh, you can't beat that. Look at the colors on these cards. They're ignoring their fucking intuition, pouring cups on there. How the fuck of course they can't get here. They're like, this one is pouring tons and tons of cups energy to the point where it's giving them King of Cups. It's giving them cups everywhere. And they're just letting it go down the drain. Wow, look how I put that here. See? letting it go down the drain. What's the potential outcome? Ooh, heartache. Ouch, it hurts. It seems like they're being sent something that is going to be very fucking uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. For a lot of you divine feminines, this is going to be an opportunity to get out of heartbreak, right? Because what you can't see, the Empress, she doesn't give a fuck about swords like that. She doesn't care. But when it comes to this Queen of Swords energy up here, this like, oh, I'm not going to say anything. Like in this one, she looks like she's just holding out, okay? She's holding out. In fact, what is this down here? I've never seen this on the card before. Yeah, look at that. Look at the little cup. Look at the little cup in prison. This bitch is insane. Look at the little cup. It's in prison. Can you see that right there? Like, how fucking insane is that? She put the cup, she put her heart in prison. So you see what I mean? If someone was living by the pentacles, right? This is another way to look at it. If someone's living by the pentacles and they think that's all great and dandy, sipping their wine and shit like that, yeah, the universe is about to put that shit in prison, and now they're without it. And because they're without it, it causes heartbreak. Like, fuck. But Divine Feminine, let's look at you under here. Divine Feminine, you're reaping what you deserve, okay? Whoo, look where I put it. I misput it down. I said this wasn't good enough. I just heard that. I just heard whatever they were chasing, it was not it. And the next pentacle is about to come in, and that's what's breaking them. Oh, man. Yeah, I just see a tsunami coming through. And it's like a tsunami of emotion, you know, like it's water. It's water. Don't think that, you know, like all of a sudden, you know, like if you're like living in an island or something like that, don't panic. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fucking weatherman. But it's a tsunami of emotion. It's coming through. And, ooh, that hurts. Okay, let's, well, we already clarified this. Let me just do 3 more cards from the bottom. And we've got the Hermit. Let's look, how can they get out of this? Are they going to get out of this? I don't know. Seems like they're going inwards, and they're gonna have, I feel like for my Divine Feminines, you've been working on your tapestry for a really long time. So you know the work that this entails, but this is saying they're going through the dark night of the soul. It is very Virgo energy. Makes a lot of sense because Mercury is in Scorpio right now. This 8 of Swords is very Scorpionic. They're tied up by their obsessions and all of that. This 3 of Pentacles. 3 is the number of Mercury, in my mind, at least. But it's also the number right before stability. It's the number of change, of shifting. And so, I mean, maybe, right? Maybe they're working on it. It's one of those things you just have to see. Oh, look. The Chariot right underneath. I guess they're coming in, and you'll see whether they are or not. Advice, though, as they're coming in, is 7 of Pentacles. You know, don't rush this. Whatever this is concerning for you specifically, don't rush it. If someone's coming in, let's say, you know, it's that ghost and ass situationship type of man. You know, don't rush whatever that is. If they want to come in, they're like, hey, can I take you out to dinner? I just want to talk to you or whatever. Okay, cool. And then go out to dinner. But like, you know, if they're like, so what do you know, then they like, let's say they tell you about all of their stuff, what they was going through, all of this and that. You can listen and then be like, okay, cool. You know, just if they're looking expectant, waiting for you to jump in and tell them, hey, you missed them, don't rush it. Just be honest with how you know, the 7 of Swords is an honest energy. Where is she? Yeah, 7 of Swords is a very honest energy. Of course, I can't find it now. So you don't rush that. You just kind of let that be. Oh, here it is. Right? You let that be. You let that, you let it grow. You give it the energy that it needs, that the situation calls for, but nothing more, nothing less. So if they're waiting for you to tell them about, you know, like what life was like for you, wait until they ask, and then only divulge what you feel is safe and necessary for you in that moment. Because at the end of the day, when someone usually comes in, and they come in especially after departing in negative ways, you don't know that person. That person is a stranger to you now, because someone that you loved and cared for would not have like done something to that degree, right? So the person coming in is a stranger. Whether they're the same old person or not, they're a stranger. Whether they've turned over a new leaf, they're a stranger, and you treat them accordingly. You don't just give a stranger out all your fucking information just because they're looking at you with puppy dog eyes. Like, could be a fucking trap. And not necessarily a malicious one. Maybe it's just one that wants your guard down so that they don't have to hold themselves fully accountable and don't have to face their own shame. You know, the thing that you showed them in the beginning. Maybe because, you know, everything is unleashed and they want you to go, oh, no, it's not that bad, when really it was. So that's kind of your reading for this week. Wow, what a crazy week. I can't wait to see how these energies unfold. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, send it to a baddie who needs it, and I will see you at some of our moon forecast readings this week. Bye, everybody.